How's it going, guys? How's it going? Oh, thank you guys for the likes already coming in the show. Tonight we have a great live, and we also have an awesome guest coming on the show to join us tonight. So as you come in, please share. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, to this channel. Tonight we are speaking on the culture of Haiti. We are talking about things which is happening in Haiti, all about Haiti. And I know as you come in, you're wondering what's going on. Stay to the end. You must watch to the end. Allow our guest to introduce himself and let us know how he's doing and who he is. Welcome to the show tonight, my brother. How's it going?
Peace. How you doing, sister? How you doing?
It's It's going well. It's a pleasure and a blessing to have you come and join us live on Life in Haiti. And I want you to introduce yourself to the audience, guys. Please share as you come in. Let's get more people watching. Let our people know who you are, because I know a lot of people probably like I've seen his face already. I've seen this guy from somewhere. So let us know a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Hassan. People on social media may call me Brother Hassan. I come out of South Florida. My mother is Haitian, and my father is of Benin descent. So his father was directly from the continent. I was raised primarily Haitian. So Haitian American, as they may call it, Haitian American, or a Diaspora here in South Florida. I've been a educator for about 10 to 12 years. I've studied African history, Haitian history, and mostly anything that has to do with blackness. I have studied in quite some depth. Yeah.
So we have it when the Smoke Clear production, they mention, oh, he's not Haitian, he's not African, he's not Haitian, he's African. Why would someone think that you are African and not Haitian? And since you study culture, what is the difference? Is there any difference between us?
I think a lot of people confuse the idea that Haitians aren't African, and that is one of the biggest misconceptions that one could take on. The idea that Haitians aren't African. When you look at Haitian culture, it is primarily 98% based on African culture. You know, down to the so-called voodoo, right? That comes out of West Africa, that comes out of the Fawn, that comes out of the Yoruba people, right?
Mhm.
Down to the linguistics, down to the language. You know, even simple things like they have this food called pois Congo, right? So anybody from Haiti know pois Congo. These are things that we have in our culture. So I think the biggest misconception is that when I specifically identify as African, they think African from the continent. And I simply say, if you take a lion out of Africa and you put it in an American zoo, it's still going to be an African lion, no matter how long it's in the American zoo. And so Haitians in Haiti are just Africans who have been transported to that specific island.
Mhm. So I found you on Instagram. You have a lot of great content there, and I want you guys to check Hassan out on Instagram. He is Brother Hassan on Instagram, so that you guys can get to know more about him. So tonight we are talking about Haiti, and we're talking a lot. The title is "What is Haitian culture?" Can you define culture to us to begin with, without the Haitian in it, what it means to you?
Yeah, well, so culture is simply a means of survival. Culture isn't, this thing that fell out of the sky. Culture was created, all cultures are created for means of survival. So if you go to the Amazon, if you go to certain parts in Africa and you see that they're teaching the children how to make bow and arrows, or they're teaching the children how to make pottery, right? They're teaching them a culture. They're teaching them how to survive. So there's nothing sacred about a culture. People make cultures in order to survive, in order to prosper. Cultures change over time. You know, what was this nation's founding culture is not the same culture anymore. The culture that first started in Haiti when the Africans came from Africa is not relatively the same culture that we have today. So culture is just a means of survival. And sometimes what can happen often is that we will adopt other people's culture so that other people can survive off of our backs, you know. And so, simply put, culture is created to shape one's psychology, to shape one's economical gains, right? To shape one's religious aspects. So, simply put, culture is a form of survival.
Hmm. Do you think that what have shaped the Haitian culture? Do you think the Western have watered down our culture? Or may I ask, what is the Haitian culture to you? Or what would you tell someone when they ask, what is Haitian culture?
So I would say Haitian culture is resistance. Haitian culture is all about resistance. Even when you go to the linguistics aspect of Haitian culture, right? When you greet someone, typically you say "sac passe," and the person says what in return? They say
Ma
what in return?
boule,
Ma
ma
boule, right?
boule.
Which means
Mm-hmm.
I'm burning, right? When you translate that into English. So during the Haitian Revolution, you had people running around saying "sac passe, sac passe," and then people was replying, "We're burning." We're burning down these cities, we're burning down these villages, we're burning down these plantations. So that form of rebellion is now placed in our greetings on how we greet each other. So Haitian culture has always been a form of rebellion, even down to this day. You know, that's still it's still rebelling. That's still having resistance in Haiti, still fighting against wickedness in Haiti. So that is the essence of Haitian culture. Now, have things entered into Haitian culture that has become mainstream and prominent? For sure. We are well aware of the fact that in the early 1900s, you had a lot of missionaries coming to Haiti who were then Christianizing Haitian people, right? And so some people may say, well, what's the problem with that, right? What's the problem with them coming into Haiti and bringing Christianity to these so called savages, to these backwards people, right? Well, that religion is another part of culture, right? When you take on someone's religion, you just don't take on their God, you take on their belief systems, you take on their way of dress. Like if you're Muslim, there's a certain type of way you have to dress. There's a certain type of way that you view the world based on your religion. And so when these people came into Haiti, Christianizing Africans in Haiti, they took away a lot of our African proverbs, took away a lot of our African way of living, right? So much so that um anybody that's into like the voodoo, right, they will understand that there are different types of sectors of voodoo, and based on what sector you come from, you can actually tell what part of Africa you came from. So if you go into little villages in Haiti, they will have communities called Congo. It's spelled with a K, but it's called Congo, right? Or you have people Nago, right? And all of these things trace back to Africa. But then when you Christianize a people, you then remove that identity of what part of Africa they came from.
Hmm. I want to ask, why do you think that was done in the early days? And one second, my brother. Welcome, guys. Please tune in. Please share the live. I will tell you guys more, but I want the focus to be about Brother Hassan and what he's bringing to the show. So please show your support, ask questions, please share the live. And in the end, guys, I will share more with you guys in reference to me If you're just coming in, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if it's your first time, and please share the channel. Why do you think that was done to us here in Haiti uh, from the beginning? Why do you think that was done to the Haitian people and its culture?
So during the 1800s, Haiti was the only successful large scale slave rebellion that took place. And this set precedents around the world. Like, people in South America were inspired, people in the southern United States was inspired, people in Africa were inspired because at that time period, take in consideration, think about this for a second. Haiti was the only place, besides Ethiopia, of course, but Haiti was the only place where you had a group of black people who were the slaves one day and then became the ruler of a nation the next day. And so when
Mhm.
you go around the world and you see all other African people enslaved or in some type of bondage, you then have to look at them and say, okay, what set these people apart? Right. And it was the form of African spirituality. Because again, a lot of us came from different parts of Africa. Some of us came from the Congo, some of us came from Benin, some of us came from whatever part of West Africa. Some of us came from there. But the one thing that bonded us together was the Boakemen ceremony. And the Boakemen ceremony was based off of African spirituality, what we now call voodoo. And so that thing, that religious form connected us together. And so Europeans understood that Haiti represented a threat to white supremacy. And when I say white supremacy, I don't mean that white people are better than us, it's just white people want to be on top of us. And so they recognized that it had to be a systematic psychological attack on Haiti, a cultural attack on Haiti in any way possible. Anytime they can attack Haiti, whether it's through a Netflix special about them saying that AIDS came from Haiti, whether it's about them demonizing African spirituality, what we call as voodoo, they always have to damage and attack Haiti through the media, so much so that you even have Haitians today who will blame ourselves, who will blame our ancestors for our predicament that we're in. And so, to answer your question, the attack on Haiti came because Haiti represented Black excellence during a time period where white people were supposed to be the norm.
Hmm. Bringing it up to date, today there is so much happening in Haiti, so much violence. What do you think? Where do you think that started from, and what's partly? Do you think that it's mainly the Haitian people fault? Where do you think that all of the madness started from? From us being looked at as black excellence to what we are seeing that's happening within Haiti today.
I think not understanding that we are at war is a huge cause of a lot of the violence that we see today. Not understanding that it is not just a physical war that we're under. It is a psychological war. It is a spiritual war. It is an economical war. A lot of people think that warfare is just guns and shooting and bombs, but these Europeans, they study behavior. They understand that they can create behavior. They have something called conditioning in psychology, right? Where they use mice, rat, dogs, and things like that. And they do these experiments on them. And they recognize how, while doing these experiments, they can control the animal's behavior. So much so that you can go to the zoo and you can see a lion jump through a hoop of fire, right? You can see an elephant do tricks. Now, in nature, an elephant will crush you. In nature, a lion will eat you. But they have been so conditioned that humans now can snap their fingers and the elephant and the lion and any fierce animal will do whatever the trainer has told them to do, right? This is what Europeans have studied. So much so that even when a lion or elephant or any zoo animal, right, is getting to its old age, they cannot release that animal back into the wild because that animal has been so trained that they will go back to the wild and other animals will eat it. We have been so conditioned in a way that anytime you have a Black person who is saying something that sounds righteous, that sounds different, that sounds unique, Black people will turn it off. They don't want to hear it because they have been so conditioned in a way that is we have been conditioned to hate Blackness. We have been conditioned to hate Black. I'll even say this. Haitians are the most disliked people in the Caribbean. And the reason why we're the most disliked people in the Caribbean is because we're the most African people in the Caribbean. Because our culture is very African. Because our phenotype is very African. We are 95% Black on that island. Other islands like Trinidad, and I'm not disparaging or talking down on anybody's island, but they have a large majority of East Indians, Asians, things like that. Haiti is Black, 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 Black. And then you add that on top of us being the first people to get our independence, of course we're gonna be the most disliked people, the most talked about people in the Caribbean.
Hmm.
So to answer your question, it boils all down to self-hatred. Yes.
Welcome to the show, guys. Let's get it started. You guys have any question for Brother Hassan? You guys interact. Please ask the question. Haitian Warrior King, just stopping by to give you the light. Today is Super Bowl Sunday. You guys don't leave me because it's Super Bowl Sunday. Tammy, just wait, my sister. I send my love. I will talk to you guys. Yes, I know I'm still here to see if she's okay. I am okay, guys. I am okay. Kombi Pulakai. Hi, everyone. Hello. How's it going? Rudolph from Haiti. How's it going? Kombi Pulakai says, free Haiti. Do you think that Haiti is a target because of our independence?
Haiti is the biggest target, right? Haiti, and yes, because of our independence, but also if you look at a lot of our now, a lot of people may feel a certain way about people like Papa Doc, right? Um, but if you look at people like Papa Doc or people after him or before him, let's say for example Aristide, right? Aristide was Black. And here's the problem that I have with how we view things. When the person is in office, we're very suspicious of the person. But then when the person is not in office or they're assassinated like Moise, then we start seeing what they were really trying to do for us. But by then, it's too late. So yes, Haiti is and always will be the target. The the thing we have to realize is that I see somebody put down there free Haiti. Haiti won their independence, right? Physically, but we never won our independence mentally. We allow people to put shackles back on our minds, so much so that if you, back in the days, Haitians would tell you if you don't speak French, you're not educated, and they would send their
Mhm.
children to France to go get educated, right? So much so that you can't even wear the black and red Haitian flag today. They'll say that's the demon flag, but then they will proudly wave the blue and red Haitian flag as if that's not the flag of the mulattoes. It was in 1994 where you had Aristide. If you were born outside of Port-au-Prince before 1994, your birth certificate said peasant. And it was Aristide that said, we're not doing that no more. And the reason why, if you weren't born in Port-au-Prince,
Go
is
back a
because
little bit because you
yes, ma'am.
educating. That's something I didn't know. If you were born around when?
19 before 1994, 1994, 1996, if you were born outside of Port-au-Prince, your birth certificate said peasant on it.
Wow.
So I dare anyone to go look that up. It was Aristide who came in and said, no, we're going to change that. And the reason why is because Port-au-Prince is not the actual capital of Haiti. The real capital of Haiti is Cap Haitian. That's where the rebellion took place at. That's where they want independence at. That's the real capital of Haiti right there. But what happened is when Henry Christophe died and you had Alexander Petion and you had all these mulattoes come to power, they switched the capital to Port-au-Prince. and they made it Port-au-Prince because that's where the mulattoes was mostly focused at, in Port-au-Prince. And so then they said, all y'all blacks that live around the country, y'all ain't born in Port-au-Prince, y'all peasants. So anybody born before 1994, go look at your birth certificate. It's gonna say peasant on it.
Wow. Why do you think? Because today we're looking at Cap Haitian Haiti is
Mm-hmm.
a very safe place. You
Mm-hmm.
in contrast to Port-au-Prince, why do you think that move was done early on?
Well, I think the people in Cap Haitian, because again, that's where independence, where all the documents were signed at. That's where they won their independence at on the mountain. I'm forgetting the name right now. Geez, I don't know why it's slipping my mind. That's where they won their independence at. That's where everything took place. So the people of Cap have a
For
real
Liberté?
No, Fort Liberté is one of them, but there was another one, November
For
18th.
YL? No?
No, I can't think of it right now. It's slipping my mind. Uh,
Citadel, Milo?
Vertier, the Battle of Vertier. The
Cap Haitian.
Cap Haitian, the Battle of Vertier took place there, right? So there's a lot of things that make the people of Cap very proud of where they're at. Now, I'm not saying that other Haitians are not proud of where they're at, but what I'm saying is they've been holding the mantle. So for me, here's my thing right here: switch the flag back to red and black, and make Cap Haitian the capital again.
Hmm.
That's my two things right there.
Well, why,
Um,
guys? Please share the live. Please share the live, guys. Shows your support for this live and share it. Why do you think coming up with this idea today would be a problem for a lot of the leaders in Haiti?
um, a lot of the leaders in Haiti, it's about this. It's about this, and the reason why. So I'm gonna say this: it's not that the leaders don't want to do, and I'm not saying all, but it's not that leaders don't want to do good things, right? Um, it's that our people are very tough people. So you have people who come to any community, whether it be the pro-black community, the African Center community, the Haitian community, and they want to do good. Their intentions are good. They raise money, they do all these things, but then after a while, their shoulders get heavy with carrying the burden of black ignorance that was introduced to us by white supremacy and racism, but the burden gets heavy. And so a lot of black people say, look, let me just get what I can get. Whoever catches the message, catch the message, and let me move on and do what I got to do. And some people just completely sell out. There are some people who start out in this movement, they start out strong. Like, I'll give an example: Nelson Mandela. You could have never told somebody in South Africa that Nelson Mandela would have been a sellout the way he was a sellout in his last few years. This man was bombing the South African government. He was doing espionage. He was doing all type of things in the 70s and the 60s. But after 24 years in prison, he weakened. He weakened and he came out. And they was never supposed to let that man be the face of the South African movement, but people did because they still thought of him as the old Nelson Mandela, but he weakened. There are some people who start out weak and end up strong. Same situation. Winnie Mandela's wife. Excuse me, Nelson Mandela's wife, Winnie Mandela. She started out not even in the movement, didn't even want to be a part of it, but she became the face of revolution in South Africa. The thing about it is that we have to uphold those people who really stand on what they stand on. If not, you're going to get people who start out with good intentions and then end up selling us out down the road because the load became too heavy. We don't protect the people who stand up for us. We protect our basketball players, soccer players, our football players, all the people who do green ops.
Wow.
We protect all the people who
Wap
do.
pale la fwe. Mwen di sa nan life lan tout tan. I say this all the time. We do not protect the
No,
ones who lead us.
no.
You may speak. I agree 100%. You may continue.
No, you say something about Tivas, they gonna tell you then, oh, da, 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 da. But the people who are standing up for us, the people who are righteous, the people who, have our best interests in mind, we don't protect them. So after a while, those people see that they're not being protected. They see that so their shoulders get heavy, and they start doing things that they wouldn't have done when they first came into this movement, into this way of life. So we have to protect those people. There's no way that Aristide should have been kicked out of Haiti and then brought back by Bill Clinton. The people should have protested that. They should have stood up for that and said, no, we don't want that. There's no way that Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Patrice Lumumba, all of our leaders are assassinated, and then in a few years they just become like a memory, and then we just quote them once in a while.
Hmm. You mentioned black ignorance.
Correct.
Can you define black ignorance for us?
Yeah. Um, so there's a book written by a beautiful African woman, an elder by the name of Marimba Ani, and she wrote this book called Yurugu. And the premise of the book is wide, so I'm just gonna try to make it short. So from reading that book, um, the one thing I took away, or the many things I took away from it, but the one thing I'm gonna mention here is that I stopped using words like better. I stopped using words like better. I just use things like different, because better insinuates that something is on top of something. So when you say, "Oh, well, America is better than Haiti," no, America's different from Haiti. Haiti has its culture. Haiti has its own thing. Haiti has what makes it beautiful, right? But because we take in the idea that this is better, then we then shun what we have ourselves. So when white people have something, we say, "Oh, what they have is better," and what you have, whether it be Christianity, oh, Christianity is better. Why is it better? Right? Oh, this is better. So I stopped using words like better, and I just say different, because that may work for you. It don't work for me. It might work in the northern part of Haiti, it might not work in the south part of Haiti. It might work in Louisiana, it might not work in New York. It doesn't mean it's better, it just means that it's different. So we start looking at things and stop saying this is better, right? Like, give you an example. We'll say, oh, Gucci is better. No, Gucci is different.
Mm.
But when they have you believe that Gucci is better, then you'll spend more for Gucci. Then you would spend for your Haitian what is it called that we the traditional clothes that we wear, the carabellas, right?
Hmm.
The carabellas and all the things that we wear. No, it's different. It's different. That's all. Gucci's different. It's not better. Clothes is clothes. A car is a car, right? I tell people every day,
Hmm.
listen, my car works for me. I don't work for my car. If I lose my job tomorrow, I'll still have my car. I'm not paying a car payment. A car is designed to get me from one place to another. But when you have the idea of this car is better, then you're going to spend money. You're going to get trapped into a car payments. You're going to be a new slave. I just say, your car is different. My car is different. That's it. So
Mm.
ignorance is based on, in my opinion, ignorance is based on the idea that when you accept someone's perspective of what is better, oh, what
Hmm.
they have
Hmm.
is better than what we have. No, what we have is what we have, and we should appreciate and accept what we have.
Well, in Haiti, it seems like in every way, Brother Hassan, I'm going to give you the stage.
Okay.
They try to do everything to make us feel as if what they have is better. And you notice that almost every child in Haiti, every youth in Haiti, dream is to denounce what they have. And it goes from even the color of our skin, where many of us feel that you have to be lighter skinned to be accepted. You have to be lighter skinned to feel or to be beautiful. But you may continue. You may continue.
So I just want to touch on the ignorance part again. So you can't spell ignorance without first spelling ignore, right? So you are complicit in your ignorance when you ignore information. or you want to bypass information. So I see this person says different does not mean equal. Some things are indeed better. If that's your perspective, that's your perspective. But the principle of a thing does not change. Again, I made the example of saying a car is a car. A car is a car. The main principle of a car is designed to take you from point A to point B. If you want to adopt the European standard of saying, well, this is better because it has more buttons, it has a TV in it, it has leather seats, that's you can take that perspective all you want. But the main principle of a thing doesn't change. So yes, European to answer your question. So yes, Europeans have indoctrinated us on all levels to believe that what they have is better, right? Down to the point where Haiti has a skin bleaching problem, right? Now we've known Jamaicans to be doing things like this and Africans and stuff like that. But when I was growing up, and this is not me talking negative, when I was growing up, I never knew Haitians to skin bleach, right? But now this is a real thing in Haiti, right? And even here in the United States, I be seeing mommies, they knuckles be all different type of colors because they skin bleach it because they believe that lighter is better. Lighter is just different. It's not better. So,
Because we all bleed the same in the end.
well, yeah, yes, yes.
Mhm. I've heard many times that
Hmm.
Haiti is cursed. And hello, everybody. Nancy, Maxine, Nini, One Love Soul, Mr. Jackson. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Yes, Nancy, how's it going? Kombi Pulaka, Mr. Jackson. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in. And please share the live, guys. Please share the live as you come in. I know tonight is Super Bowl Sunday night, but we're dropping knowledge here. So, guys, please share. That way we have more people tuning in. And thank you, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. I have heard many times, Hassan, people are saying that Haiti is cursed or that there's something that we've done we're paying for. But one of the things you just opened my eyes on tonight is the fact that Cap Haitian is where we fought the good fight. Cap Haitian is where we won independence. And Cap Haitian is peaceful. I just left Cap Haitian. A lot of the things which is happening in Port-au-Prince, you will never see it in Cap Haitian happening in Haiti. Do you think that our ancestors are protecting Cap Haitian in a way? Because when you go back and you look at our culture and how things used to be, and how many people say that we've gotten our independence, why is it that Port-au-Prince is like this, and then you have Cap Haitian complete opposite of Port-au-Prince?
So to answer your first question, do I believe Haiti is cursed? Yes, I do believe that Haiti is being cursed, not because we have not accepted Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior, but because we have turned our back on our ancestors and everything that they have taught us. How many of us can actually quote the Constitution, the first Haitian Constitution of 1805? How many of us actually know what our ancestors actually said and how we should live and how we should operate? How many people actually know that they buried Dessalines and Alexander Petion together? Now, some people may say, well, what's the problem with that, right? Dessalines and Alexander Petion was the assassin of Dessalines. He was the person who killed Dessalines, and they're buried together. So, do I believe that we're being cursed? Yeah, because we're not. Our ancestors are upset on how we stray so far away from who and what we are as a people. I'm not saying nothing to do with no Christianity. I'm saying it has to do with turning our back because our ancestors fought vigorously to gain that independence. So much so that they would throw their babies down cannons, that women would jump down cannons to stop the cannon from shooting at invading armies. Right? That was a 12-year war There was a 12-year war. There was a time where there was a river. I can't think of the river names right now, where it was red with blood for 6 months. That you couldn't even drink the water because it had so much blood flowing through that river. This is not the massacre. I'm talking about back in 1804, 1806, right? During these time periods. Do you think our ancestors are proud of that? Do you think our ancestors, anytime you turn your back on your ancestors, there will be consequences to be paid, whether you believe in
Hmm.
it or not, because you are your ancestors and your ancestors are you. So whether you believe it or not, we're paying for that.
Well, so Lord Navixon Hova says, what do you guys think about the Haitians? So, guys, don't forget as you come in to please share the live. Please show your support by hitting the like button and please share the live with a friend, guys. He says, what do you think about Haitians?
Well, I mean, there is a large degree of Haitians, right? You got Haitians in Canada, you got Haitians in South Florida, you got Haitians in New York, you got Haitians in Haiti, you got Haitians in, like, we have spread out tremendously throughout the globe. And what's so crazy about that is that we are the third largest ethnic group in the Western Hemisphere. Haitians are the third largest Western. Brazilians are first, Black Brazilians, African Americans, and then Haitians are the third largest Black group in the Western Hemisphere. And we are all throughout the United States. We are all throughout um, the Caribbean and other parts of the Caribbean. And for some reason, none of us really come back with a conservative effort to really change the shape of Haiti, to really change.
Hmm.
I said this one time to a friend of mine, right? Um, I was like, why do we send stuff to Haiti that we don't want? Like old stuff that be around our house, stuff that we, oh, my boy IT. Why are we sending brand new stuff to Haiti? Why are we sending old stuff to Haiti? But then we get mad when Donald Trump says Haiti's a shithole, right? And I'm not saying that it is. I'm not saying that it isn't. But if you only think about sending old stuff to the country that you supposedly love, how are you building it up? You sending stuff you don't even want to Haiti, just dropping it there.
Hmm.
I don't know. Something about that is
Now,
just
I,
it's
I don't know. I don't know if Jana is watching, but she was just giving me an example of something she didn't understand. She has an Indian friend, and everything he sent to India, he took pride in it. He purchased brand new things to send back home because he said it made no sense for him to send things that have been used and that's old back home when he's in America and he should be promoting and he should be proud of what he's. Whereas she mentioned the same thing. She didn't understand why we sent old stuff back to Haiti. Why do you think that is? Because I recently did a live where I spoke about, I went back in history, Haiti in the 70s. And if you're attentive to Haiti in the 70s, there they had started conditioning the mind of our peoples to hate Haiti. They started conditioning our mind to hate ourselves, to dislike ourselves, and started making room for us to migrate, to start using the strength of migrants. Why do you think that is?
so if you are able to keep a people consistently on the move, then you're able to keep them from gathering their thoughts. You're able to keep them from becoming generational. When you're able to dislocate a group of people, have them always on the run, have them scattered like the children of Israel out the Bible. If you can always have them on their feet, then they cannot sit long enough to think about a plan, to focus, to strategize, make that plan, then become generational. You keep them, you keep them going through mise in Haiti. They come to the Miami, right? They live in Little Haiti for a little time, then they break up Little Haiti, and then they move them somewhere else. And then they're gonna go move somewhere else, and they're gonna break them up and then move them somewhere else again. you're able to keep them always, you can't think straight. You can't make things become generational. And so that's why they do that in our communities to keep us unstable.
Why do our people make it okay to purchase old things to send back home? What about what about that thinking that associate that it's old things that should be sent back home? Like, you see people, some people are sending buckets back to Haiti, and that
Hmm?
sometimes is like offensive because here we are trying to clean up the mass amount of trash that's invading our community. So why send things that's going to clog up the community, that's going to turn into trash? And it seems like we're not disposing of it properly. 150 watching, guys. Don't forget to show some love here. Don't forget to share the live. Don't forget to hit the like button and please interact as we have Brother Hassan here on live with us.
So anywhere that African people are, it's considered to be a jail, right? And I'm gonna make this analogy so people can understand what I'm saying. Anywhere that Black people are, it's considered to be a jail, right? And so when people get out of
Why
jail,
is that? Why is that? Like, I'm glad I have you here. You study this because I'm seeing the trend in that, and it is so hurtful, Hassan. It's hurtful when you study our culture, when you study our people, when you really, really love being a black person, and you come out of all of that social media light, and you start really getting into parts of Africa, start studying black nations. Why is that being black, it seems like to live in your country is a prison? Don't forget, guys, to please subscribe, like, and share, guys. Support this channel, guys, so we can continue to bring better and better content.
okay, so I'm gonna try to make it real short, right? So as we fought for our independence, not just us, but other countries like Jamaica, like Trinidad, like Ghana, like Nigeria, as we fought and we pushed the Europeans out, the Europeans said, okay, y'all don't want us there? No problem. We're going to turn your communities into a prison. We're going to turn them into a jail. We're going to control the resources. We're going to control the environment. Remember, I told you they study conditioning, right? So now every Black person around the world, the main thing on their mind is where the white people at? How can I get to a white nation? When people immigrate from their countries, the first place they go to a white country, to a white country. They run into America, they run into Canada, they run into Switzerland, they run in everywhere white people are because white people say, okay, since y'all don't want us there, now we're gonna turn you into a migrating people, displacing you, and then come to my country, right? Reverse psychology, come to my country and then work for low wages, right? And so this is what Europeans did. This is how they turned our communities into projects, into jailhouses, where we consistently try to break from these communities to run to their communities and then better them and then work for them and then keep them on top. So now you're not physically enslaved, you're economically enslaved, you're socially enslaved, you're culturally enslaved because even to get a job in their environment, you got to press that hair down. You got to make sure you're not wearing your natural hair. You got to cut your beard. You got to put on a tie. You got to do all the things that strip you from who you are as an African just so you can feed your family in their culture, in their way of living. Because again, their culture is better, right? And this is what people think in their mind. So going back to the original question, why do we run and treat our countries the way we treat our countries? It's because they're jailhouses. They have no resources coming in. The little resources we do have coming in, we're fighting over them, right? And this is in the words of the late great Dr. Amos Wilson. And I advise anybody to look up Dr. Amos Wilson on YouTube or read one of his books. He says, if you want to understand a problem, don't look at the people who suffer from the problem, but look at the people who benefit from the problem. So when you see problems in Haiti with wars and gangs, you see white people walking through Haiti with no problem. You see white people walking, riding their bikes. You see white people, they taking all the resources out of Haiti. Why they got y'all fighting amongst each other? Why they got y'all fighting for the little bit y'all do have? So don't look at who's suffering from the problem. Look at who benefiting from the problem. When you look at black on black violence and black men going to jail and black men being miseducated, white people are benefiting from that. Dr. Amos Wilson says, imagine if black men in America stopped committing crime. How many jobs will we lose in America? Correction officers will lose their jobs. Police officers will lose their jobs. Judges, probation officers. I mean, those are just four main jobs right there. Lawyers. I mean, we could go on and on. This society is based off of criminality. So you need a group of people to commit crime. So what you do, you induce criminality into them through their music, through their television, through their movies, through any way you can produce criminality out of them so that you can keep the society going. And then you say, oh, look at them. They're criminals. Look what they do. Look how they act. And then you
Wow.
can't blame them.
Don't forget, guys, to please subscribe to the channel. Check out Brother Hassan on Instagram and follow him on Instagram, guys. You get to know more about him. Gary says, Gary W, and welcome each and everyone to the live. If I don't get to everybody's comment, charge it to the eyes and not the heart, because you guys know I love you guys and I thank you all for tuning in. But Gary W says, I disagree. In the UK, black people and white people have nice houses. I work for a black woman. I married a black woman. My kids are mixed. Can you kind of give him, Mr. Gary, an understanding of what you were saying?
I don't usually explain myself to non-black people because that's pointless to me. But for those who want a further explanation, I'll go ahead and expound on that. But I don't make it a habit to explain myself to white people or non-black people, sometimes even black people. But what does him having mixed kids have to do with the reality of a society? So okay, how any system works, let me just say this, how any system works is it works off of rules and exceptions. Right, rules and exceptions, those are the two things that in an exception. For example, let's say a gun, right? A gun, when you pull the trigger, it's supposed to go bang. That's the rule. The rule is when you pull the trigger, it's supposed to shoot. The exception
Mm-hmm.
is sometimes it might jam, sometimes the bullet might not go all the way through, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
airbags are designed to stop you from dying in a car crash. That's the rule. The exception is sometimes you might go flying through the window, right? So the rule is we must hold as many black people back as possible. The exception is when you get a LeBron James, a Oprah Winfrey, a Sweet Mickey, or whatever the case may be. So the 99.9% of black people live below poverty, working for somebody white, and etc. And then you have that other 2% who is not doing so. So just because the exception is there does not mean the rule does not apply. And that's in any and everything. Rules and exceptions. So telling me about a few black people who got nice homes and 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 work, whatever you work for white people, does not take away from the fact that racism systematically still exists, primarily because you're from the UK. I could tell you in the 1990s and still up until this day, black people get stabbed in the UK on the streets by white supremacists. White supremacy very much exists in the UK. This is a fact. There was a famous case in the UK. There was a brother, he was from Africa. I can't think of his name, Stephen Lawrence or Stephen Lawrence, Stephen Lawrence. That was a famous case in the UK where these white supremacists were going around just stabbing people stabbing black people for no reason. And then they did an investigation. They let this man die on the streets. He was a young boy. They let him die. And then they did an investigation with all up to the Supreme Court or whatever they call it in the UK. And they said that this society is institutionally racist, meaning that when black people need something, they have to go to white people. They have to go to white people. That is no, that when we need a job, we got to go to white people. Healthcare, we got to go to white people. Education, we go to white people. That is institutional racism. Everybody could look up the Stephen Lawrence case. I don't make my I don't explain myself to white people because they're gonna be them. I'm not here to change their minds. I'm here to change the way we view ourselves and the way we think about ourselves because they're gonna be them. They've been them for the past 500 years. They're not changing. They are going to be them. I am here to change our minds.
All righty. Grace Owls, welcome to the live. Grace says that, but white people also get stabbed too. I'm not arguing that there isn't supremacy in the UK. However, it isn't all to do with color. Maxine says ignorance is not appealing. It can be misconstrued as ignorance. Kanal says individual achievements, small wins on an individual level. Yours truly, welcome to the live, says please share the live, partager live lang. Oni says do not explain to non-white because they don't have no clue and never see the privilege. I agree. Gary says I don't, hold on a second. Thank you so much, Danny, for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. So, guys, as you come in, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and please share. Show your support tonight. Please share the live, guys. Maxine says, white countries are not begging us to come to their country. We choose to go uninvited. I beg to differ that, but would you like to comment on what Maxine says?
Well, you don't have to beg of people to come when you create conditions that is unlivable for them to be in the first place. So you don't have to be like, oh, come here and come there. And then even at some point, they actually did. At World War II, they opened up these immigration policies. That's why you have a lot of Trinidadians in England. It basically, and after World War II, they said anywhere that we colonize, you guys can now come and immigrate here. And so that took place after World War II. So they actually did have a lot of people come there. I just want to say this for anyone who doesn't believe in racism, white supremacy, because of whatever you believe in, right? I dare you to name a place that has equal amount of anything that Europeans have. Any African country that has equal amount of anything that European countries have. See, I believe in equality. I believe in equality. I believe that black people need the same amount of guns. I believe black people need the same amount of land, the same amount of books. I believe that we should be equal. Everything the white man has, I want too. Because you can't point to a black Wakanda. We see the movie, but where's the real Wakanda? Where's name an African country that is above a European country? So if you don't believe in racism and white supremacy, that tells me that you believe that black people are innately ignorant. Because if there is a one country with all the resources that we have in our countries that is doing better than one European country, then that means that you think we stupid. It has to be racism. Because you can't tell me out of all these black countries from Africa to the Caribbean and South America, wherever these places at, we don't have one country that has a larger economy and doing better than one European country. Mm, I don't know.
One Love Soul says, we think we should accept old things, everything and anything because they think we don't have other ways of getting it. Nothing that would benefit Haiti. They want to continue to disable us. And it seems like there's no hope at all. What does that say about us in Haiti as a group? Do you think that it's time, Hassan, that in Haiti we stop making excuses and lead as the free nation that we are? Meaning the
So
leaders making different decisions. And do you think that the leaders can even make decisions that benefits this country today?
So let me take 1 second to address Gary W., who says, "My black wife is my queen." So I hear a lot of white people who are married to black women make this statement all the time. And the question I have to ask them is, what are you doing to make your wife equal in society? Just sleeping with them is not a badge of honor. That is not something that we should have. Oh, he has a white wife. So what? Slave masters slept with their slaves all the time. That's how we got mulattoes. Okay. So from you being with someone in a sexual manner, that doesn't faze me at all. What are you doing with your white privilege, with your abilities that you have in society to change the way that your wife people is looked at? Because you can't sit here and say, oh, well, I just love my wife, she's black and everything. What are you doing to change her reality for her people to make it to really make it equal? Don't tell me about you laying down with somebody. That doesn't do anything for me. What that does is it makes you feel good about having your privilege and being able to have a black wife at the same time. Okay. Now, the question, let me see how I can answer this question. I think what we really must do is really get unified in the way we view a thing and how we view something, right? Because the enemy cannot come in to infiltrate or take advantage of or exploit if we are unified in our thinking, how we view something, right? Like if these gangs came together to say, okay, this is our real enemy. This is what we have to fight against. And they unified, Haiti could be a force to be reckoned with, right? Haiti can be something that we can, it just comes down to knowing what our real enemy is. Okay, let me say it like this. Let me say it like this. Let me give a better example so I could tie in what I'm trying to say. Elijah Muhammad, who is considered to
One
be,
second, please. 1 second. And
yeah,
I want to ask you guys to interact and to be respectful. You can challenge the idea, but don't attack directly anyone's character. Please be respectful. I welcome you guys. I'm glad the channel is growing. However, I do not accept uh disrespect within this family here. So I want to welcome you guys, but please do not be
no,
disrespectful because there's no racism. That's why I say this is life in Haiti. And if you would like to contact me and would like to share your part, you may get in
mm-mm.
contact with me to be a guest, guys. But do
Sis,
not be disrespectful.
sister, never stop them from making their mistake. Let him show his true colors. Let the one who got a black wife show his true colors, because that's one of the problems that we have. We don't see white people for what they really are. You see how quick he just ready to disrespect and be vulgar. Let
Mm.
them show their true colors. You don't ever stop your enemy from making a mistake. If what I'm saying offends you that bad, you ready to disrespect me as a black man when I'm speaking for my people, you don't stop them, sister. You let people see them for what they are. And that's one of the problems we have. We don't see them for what they really are. We see them for the illusion. So let him say all his derogatory, disrespectful things that he has to say, because he's just showing what they really are and how they really think about us.
Wow. I don't know if you lost your train of thoughts, but you may continue. I kind of myself forgot exactly where you were. Do you remember where you were?
Yes, I do, ma'am. So what I was
You
gonna
may
say is
continue.
how can we get on track, right? So taken from Elijah Muhammad, who was the founding father of what we now know as the Nation of Islam. One of the things that he did is he created a mythology to shape our psychology, right? Or our psychology, right? And mythology was the idea that the white man was the devil. Now, we all know that the white man is not actually the devil, but does he do devilish things? Of course. Is his culture based off of a trickery? Of course. So he created the idea that the white man is the devil. And he got everyone in the black community to say this: the white man's the devil, the white man's the devil. So what did that do? That allowed black men who was on drugs, black men who were alcoholics, black men who were beating their wives, that allowed them to stand up straight and walk with the level of pride and say, if the white man is the devil, I will reject the white man's cigarettes. I'll reject the white man's alcohol. I'll reject the white man's drugs. I'll reject anything the white man makes, and I'll make things for myself. And I will build up myself. I'll make my own newspaper. I'll make my own bean pies. We're making our own bow ties, and we're gonna give it to our people. We're gonna serve our people. So I say that to say that when he created that mythology, he created a psychology that bonded black men and black women together. And so until we create a mythology, a psychology for ourselves, and we just all over the place, that's one of the things about black people. We are the most confused people on the planet. We are confused. We even greet each other in a confusing way. We say things like, "What's up, man? What's happening?" Because we don't know what's going on. This is why we say things like, "Hey, man, what's up, man? What's happening?" Because we don't know what's taking place. We are confused. And that's what racism, white supremacy does. It keeps you in a confused state of mind.
Mm. This is greater than the Super Bowl. Yes, it is. Come on. So, guys, let me see who else is in the chat that has a question. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Please share the live. Please support by sharing, support by liking, guys, and please subscribe to this channel if you are enjoying the content. Danny says, don't forget to like, share. Obi says he is telling the truth. Do you know about Juneteenth? I will let you answer that question. But while I'm at it, let me give some people that's in the audience with us some shout outs. L. Alfield, how's it going? Thank you for tuning in. Tammy Green, hello, sis. My brother Haitian Warrior King. Grace of Owl says the only issue I have is people lumping everyone under the same umbrella. Not all white people are racist, but also there are some black people who are racist. I have been on the receiving end of racism. And I will answer this to keep it peaceful. This is not a racist stage. And no, I do not think that every white person is racist, okay? This is not what we're not talking. If the shoe don't fit, don't wear it, guys. We're not talking about things happening directly today. So I don't want you to feel like we're pointing fingers and saying that you know, all whites are racist or all that's at least I don't believe that. I
Okay.
don't.
So I'm going to say, you don't have to agree. You don't have to agree. But yes, all white people are racist. All white people are racist. There is no, there's different levels of racism, but all white people are racist. And allow me to make my point. There is no way that you can have lived in the past 500 years, went to school, read a book, watched a movie, anything in this world and not be infected by racism, white supremacy. That's even if you're a black person. That's why black people, we perm our hair, we bleach our skin, we want to fix our nose, we think our lips are too big. There is no way that you can have lived in this world for more than 4, 5, 6, 7 years and not been affected by white supremacy, even so much to a point where there was a doll baby test done in the 60s and it was recently done again. And they asked the children, black children, white doll do you want to be? The black children said, the white kids, these were babies. What have they been exposed to so soon that they already feel I don't want to be black? So you can't tell me that white people are not all racist, because if you walking through this world, you seeing racism. You seeing Trayvon Martin, you seeing Mike Brown, you seeing these things. You watching these rap videos. Why aren't white people saying, hey, why y'all make music like that? Can y'all stop? No, they exploit it. They take advantage of it. They say, yes, make more of this music. Why can white people listen to black people call themselves Negro all day? And they okay with that? Because they believe that deep down in their heart. Now, I even give you a bad example. I'll give you a bad example. Now, we all know white people didn't own slaves. We know this. All white people didn't own slaves, but every white person benefited from slavery. Now, why do I say that? The slave master had his slaves, but he also hired a white man, a poor white man, to oversee his slaves, to beat his slaves. Then you had the slave catchers. Then you had slave insurance. Then you have people who built slave boats. Then you have people who made slave clothes. You have people who provided slave food. So just because you didn't own slaves don't mean you didn't benefit from slavery. So just because you don't consider yourself to be outward racist, don't mean you don't have racist tendencies. You get what I'm saying? Where you see in their actions every day. When I start speaking, they ask questions like, "Ooh, what school did you go to? Where are you from?" And they're asking that because they have been taught that Black people can't speak the way I speak. They have been taught that Black people don't have the ability to think the way I think. That is underlying racism. The fact is like, oh, he's different. What makes me different? Because in their mind, all Black people talk like, "Hey, yo, what's up? Yeah, man, what's going on?" That's racism. And then you on the flip side, you have white people who get these tattoos and Jordans and they wear all these things and they say, "I'm just as Black as you." And I'm like, what make you Black? Because you acting like that? That's what you think Blackness is? To cuss and get tattoos on your face and to drink alcohol? That's what you think Blackness is? That's racist. Any way you cut it, you can't live in this world and say you have not been affected by racism. So yes, all white people are racist. All of them.
And guys, this is my, I guess, point of view, and you are entitled to have your point of view. Um, Oni says not every white people benefited from slavery, and they think we should sweep it under. Every white person benefited from slavery, and they think we should sweep it under the rug. Wow. Reparation now. Do you think that in Haiti, at some point, that we are owed reparations? Do you think that some of the debts that we've had to pay to our enslavers have played a role in the race that we are in? Why we're so far behind in this race?
Yeah, definitely. Reparations is owed to any place that had slavery, any place that had colonization. Reparations are owed to African people globally, specifically Haiti, where you had Haiti being the largest sugar producing landmass in the 1800s, and paying back France for why did we pay France back reparations, right? That's crazy, but that was done by mulatto. That was done by mulatto Boyer, who signed over that agreement to pay France reparations. Um, because he wanted to be acknowledged by his French white father. Right. So we have to be very careful about that too, as well. That whole mulatto problem that took place in Haiti, right? Because there were 3 wars being fought in Haiti that we don't know about. We always talk about, oh, yeah, we beat the French. But at one point in history, we had to fight the mulattoes off too. The mulattoes were trying to put Africans in slavery too. And that's not me being colorist. I'm being honest. This is the history that we're talking about. Okay. So, and please don't delete any of their comments. Let people comment and say whatever they have to say. And I don't mind. I have very tough skin because I recognize that some people gonna get it and some people not gonna get it. Um, but yes, reparations is due to African people. Very much so. Reparations is due to African people. And someone said something, my family is Irish and they didn't own slaves. Well, here's the thing about it. If you go back in history, Irish people were the biggest slave overseers. Go back in history. When they wanted to break African people, they used Irish people that came here and they was whooping on African people. That's why, and then after they finished whipping on them, a lot of them were passed on slaves. So that's why when you look at a lot of people who have Irish last names, like Shaquille O'Neal, Eddie Murphy, right? So don't tell me your people didn't own slaves, and then we turn around, we got Irish last names. That's not making no sense. That's not making no sense. So yes, Irish people came here and they mistreated Black people and allowed them own slaves. Stop it.
Hmm. So let's go to Haiti today. Let me ask you, why do you think the U.S. is paying Kenya to clean up the mess that is in Haiti today?
So I would say the United States, and this is one thing I could say about the Haitian community. We have been like adamant about, because we've been occupied at least what, two or three times by the United States. 19
Mhm.
from 1915 to 1934, and then again 1994, and then again like 2001, right? And so
Mhm.
let me show you. Let me show you how. Please don't let me forget my train of thought about occupation. But let me show you how white people never forget nothing. They don't ever forget nothing. In 2004, there was a French battalion that came to Haiti to reoccupy, to shut down what's going on in Haiti, right? And do you know what that battalion name was? They literally came, I think it was February, I can't remember the date, but they literally came on a specific date. And the name of the battalion was called the Rochambeau Battalion. For those who don't know who Rochambeau is, Rochambeau was Napoleon's right hand man, and he died during the Haitian Revolution. And so a lot of French people hail him as a hero, but he died during the French Revolution. And 200 years later, they came back and stepped foot on Haiti with the Rochambeau Battalion to shut it down. What was going on in 2004? That's 200 years later. They still mad about that. Any battalion could have went in, but they sent the Rochambeau Battalion in 200 years later after 1804. 1804, 2004. It's 200 years. These people don't forget nothing. They don't forget anything. But to answer your question, what did you? The question was, oh, occupation. So why are they sending Kenya in?
Mhm.
They're sending Kenya in because we have recognized for a long time. Anytime the United States or any French or Canadian um, people come into Haiti, they're gonna do some zak. They're gonna mess around in Haiti. But why they sending Kenya in? Because Kenyans have a black phenotype, but a lot of Kenyans, not all, a lot of Kenyans, not all, I want to repeat that, don't identify as black. So when you
Mhm.
go into East African culture, a lot of them, whether it's Eritrean, whether it's Ethiopians, whether it's Somalians, they'll tell you, I'm not black. And you're like, but you look black like me. And they're like, no, I'm not black. I'm not black. I'm different. I'm Hadesha. I'm something different. And they're not lying. They are. They have a dark skin color, but they're not black. Technically, they're not what we call phenotypically, genetically, they're not what we call Congo, Niger, African. That's a very unique thing. If you look at Ethiopians, look at their hair texture, it's very curly, like, and I'm not being hateful, I'm just keeping it, I'm telling you what it is. Somalians, they all have a look to them. So they're sending these people in there who have anti-black views, but they have dark skin. So you sending them in there, they're not going to treat the people. They don't see them as their people. They see them as something else. They see them as something different, even though they have dark skin. You know what I'm saying? It's so deep. This brainwashing is so deep. And you know what I'm talking about once I say this. That you would even have black people who speak Spanish who say, I'm Spanish. And you say, no, you're black. No, 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 I'm Spanish. I'm not black. I'm not black. So if you could have that with a black person who just speaks a different language, who don't even identify with you, what you think from a person from East Africa who have a whole different culture? You think they're gonna identify with you? You think they're gonna see you as brother and sister of Haiti? Nah, they're gonna flunk you a collar the same way the blonde flunk you a collar. Because that's what the blonde sent them there to do. So they just what Europeans do is they learn how to throw the rock and hide their hand. So yeah, we're gonna send in these people who we know. Okay, why not send in Nigerians? Why not send in Ghanaians? Why not sending people from Congo? Why are you sending them people over there for? We know they don't see themselves as black, but no, it's to keep the same oppression.
Wow. Let's go into the audience, guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Kindly like. And don't forget to share, guys. Please share the live. We went up to 184 tonight. Let's go up to 200. Please share. Thank you guys for tuning in as well. Yours truly. Now let's go to 3CP. Africans are nationalists. Don't see each other as the same. But in a way, we are the same. Yours truly says, "We have our blood, sweat, and tears and money for the sacred land of Haiti. Historical facts. I am not a colonizer. No one in my family did that. And I will, if you would like to say something, I will let you say something. And Jason, I understand your point of view, but that's as if I stand here today on YouTube to say I am not a slave and no one in my family have been a slave. This is what we are fighting for today, guys, in reference to Haiti. Thank God for the hard work of those behind me, my forefathers. Today I can stand in front of the screen and I can say that I am not a slave. But to say that no one in my family has been a slave is a lie. And I don't care what person of color or where you from, for you to say that you are not a slave or no one in your family have been a slave, for me, that's a delusional statement. I don't know any of my ancestors that have been a slave. However, from my history and from the things that my country continue to face, I will be fooling myself to get up here in front of the screen to tell you that no one in my family have been a slave. And let's just say, if you are a white person, you are not racist, but let's not defend the past, because this is why this subject is a very sensitive subject. And it can struck you that is black one way and a person that is white one way. Today, it's best to say I am not racist, which is what we are praying that the world would um, convert to, assimilate to. But to say that no one in your family have been, we don't know that. I cannot sit here and say that no one in my family have been a slave. That's a lie. That's taking away all of the fight of Dessalines, Toussaint Louverture, Henri Christophe, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, the great Martin Luther King. That's taken even Jesse Jackson. That's taken away from people that have been a part of the fight for the freedom that I, as a black woman, have today.
So I have a question for the people who make those statements and say, "Well, I didn't own any slaves, or I didn't, my family didn't do this." And I respect your opinion, right? And we often say things like slavery, or no, excuse me, racism or hate is a learned behavior. So my question to people who make those statements is, okay, when are you guys going to unlearn the hate? When are you going to unlearn the racism? Okay, because if you keep saying it's a learned behavior, when are you teaching something different? Because for the past 500 years, it seems like we were teaching the same thing. Okay, and the reality of it is the day that white people want racism to end, it will be over overnight. The day that they say, okay, it's done, we're not doing this anymore, it's done, because they're the only one practicing racism. There isn't anything that I can do to a white person. Maybe on an individual level, I could punch a white person or fight them or do something like that. But systematically, there isn't one thing that I can do to affect them as a group. But when they say, hey, you guys can't go to this school. Hey, you can't get this loan. Hey, you got to do this. Hey, you got to do that. They control our every being, everything about who we are. Hey, who says Haiti ain't got no economy? They control the economy. If they want it to be a booming country, Israel don't got no natural resources. Why is Israel a booming company? You know why? Because they send 1 billion to Israel every year. They can make and break a country whenever they want. So the day that they stop being racist is the day that racism will end. So I don't want to hear these superficial conversations about I didn't do this and I didn't do that. You still benefiting from it. The same way my sister said she was never a slave, I wasn't a slave, but we still get looked at as slaves. We still get treated as slaves. We still get treated as criminals. We don't. I'm tired of superficial conversations about what you didn't do. I didn't do anything either. I was born into this beautiful black skin, and this beautiful black skin comes with a
As well
history.
as our forefathers, as well as our ancestors. They were just born into it. Nobody deserved to be enslaved.
And it comes with a history. And you cannot deny that history. You cannot overlook that history because it makes you feel uncomfortable, because it makes you feel like, oh, I don't connect that to my. Yes, your skin is a representation. Your brain is an associating organism. Your brain associates everything. So when I look at your skin and it's white, I associate to white Jesus because that's what we've been associated to believe. You can take a gun and you can put a gun to a baby's head, and the baby will not even blink because the baby has not associated that gun equals death yet. These things that we see, these images, that's why our ancestors, they wrote in images, they wrote in pictures because they understand our brain associates everything. So when I see your white skin, what it should represent to me is colonizer, not savior, colonizer. Whether you're trying to colonize me religiously, whether you're trying to colonize me economically, whether you're trying to colonize me sexually, right? There are many things. White people get really offended when you tell them you can't, you're not interested in them. Their ego is bruised when you're like, no, I don't like white women. Why don't you like white women? Oh my God, really? Because they believe that they're supposed to be the cream of the crop. They believe that they are the everything that everybody's supposed to be around, that everybody's supposed to flock to want to be like. They are very insecure people. This is why they went around the world forcing everyone to believe in what they believe in. This is why everywhere they go, they brought their images and they brought their Bibles with them, and they forced everyone to believe in it. And that's why when you are who you are, who you are in yourself, they're very uncomfortable. They're very uncomfortable. Like, why are you like that? Why don't you? Because this is me. I don't want to be like you. This is why they don't want us wearing our natural hair. This is why they don't want us expressing ourselves until they do it, until they start wearing the buntu knots and all the little things, and they start doing African dances. Then we can be proud to be black when they start doing it. Yeah.
Someone, I want you, I don't want to lose this train of thought because I want to ask this question on Life in Haiti, guys. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to kindly like and share. But there's a big trend in reference to black women, especially with black men. And I don't want you to let me forget that. But Jason Forrest asked a good question. Who ended slavery? Can you answer that for him?
Black people into slavery. Black people into slavery. Specifically, if you want to go into history, the Haitians helped end slavery in the Western Hemisphere. Because if you go down to South America, matter of fact, let me do it like this. Next time you're in Savannah, Georgia, go down to Savannah, Georgia in the circle, in Young Circle, and go look at a statue of Haitian soldiers down there who came down and fought in the Battle of Savannah. 500 soldiers came from Haiti and fought and helped America get their independence. That was a very significant battle. That's why they have a statue of them down there in Savannah, Georgia. So Haitians helped the United States kick Great Britain out of the United States. That's number one, right? Number two,
Mm-hmm.
it was the Haitian Revolution that bankrupted France, that Napoleon had to sell his part of Louisiana to the United States. So that kicked the French out of this part of the hemisphere. Okay. And then when you go to South America, Simon Boulevard and Miranda went to Haiti to go help them get their independence. And that's why their flags are blue and red. And then you have the gold in there as well, because they modeled it after Haiti. So when you talk about who ended slavery in the Western Hemisphere, it was Haiti. And it was black people. It was black people in Florida, the Seminoles, the Africans who were fighting, the Gullah Geechee people who were fighting. It was even if you go to the Civil War, over the last people who were fighting in the Civil War were 250,000 black men who fought on the side of the North. And you had enslaved Africans running to go fight for the North. So let's talk about that for a second, because you have these illusionist people who say things like, "Oh, well, we ended slavery. Slavery was never fought. I mean, excuse me, the Civil War was never fought over the mistreatment of African people. It was fought over commerce. The whole fight was about economics. The whole fight was about uh, stifling capitalism. So basically, what the North was saying is that if everybody begins to own slaves, who are we going to sell our products to? It's just like, for example, let's say you have a product, right? And then you're
Mm-hmm.
getting your product for free. You're getting everything for free. At some point,
Mm-hmm.
when everybody gets that same product and we're all having it, who are we going to sell it to?
Has no value.
It has no value. So they said, look, you got to free your slaves. You have to create a market. We can't have stifling capitalism. We always have to have a seller buyer market. And the South said, we're not selling our slaves because we've been doing this for years. And the North said, but we got all these factories and we and they said, well, we're going to have to fight about it. And they fought about it because that's what Europeans do. They fight over African people. Almost every war that has been fought over African people, over our resources, over our land. Even if you go to World War One, you go to World War One, World War Two. No matter what they talk about, it was fought over African people, and most of the fighting in World War One took place in Northern Africa and took place in Africa. They don't talk about that, right? They don't talk about the reason why World War One even started is that you had what was called the scramble for Africa, which means that so let me kind of break it down into context. So in the 15 1600s, you had France, England, and Spain in the United States. They were this was the United States was a colony, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then when it became the United States, they end up kicking out Spain, France, the Dutch. They end up kicking all of them out. And so they said, we're going to become one country. So now what happened was a lot of the Europeans went back to their countries and they didn't have any resources. They didn't have anything to do. So what they said is, oh, well, what about Africa? So they went back into Africa and then colonized Africa in 1888. It is called the Scramble for Africa. The Berlin Conference is when they split up Africa. And they said, okay, France, you take this part, Britain, you take this part, Portuguese, you take. And this is why when you go to Africa, they speak French, they speak English, they speak Portuguese, they speak all these different languages because the Europeans then went to Africa and then enslaved them in Africa after they enslaved us over here. So they start enslaving them over there. And oh, wait, where was I going? I kind of lost train of thought. I
Who
lost
freed the slaves?
who freed the slaves. Ooh, yeah, no, but I was
That's where we
going.
were.
That's where we were going. I was going somewhere else with it. But so the Europeans end up colonizing the African continent as well. No, I was going to World War One. It's going to show you how every war was fought. Okay, so now you have these European countries in Africa, right? They're in Africa. Now, what starts happening is certain parts of Africa has different resources. Congo has the rubber, it has the coltan,
Mm-hmm.
Mali and Ghana, places they have salt, they have gold, they have all these different things, right? And so as they split up these countries and make these fake borders up and say, okay, this is Nigeria, this is Ghana, this is Togo, this is Mali, this is Benin. As they're splitting them up, certain Europeans start feeling a certain type of way. They start saying, hey man, I don't like what I got. I don't like what I got over here. I only got
Mm-hmm.
fish. Like this is why Cameroon actually means shrimp. If you look at the name Cameroon, it means shrimp. So people were saying, I don't like what I got. You telling me I only got shrimp? Like this is not good. So Belgium was one of those places that was really getting it. Leopold, I think the person said the name right there. The King Leopold. They had rubber at that time. Cars was a kind of a new thing, and what they needed to move the cars, rubber tires. So Leopold was making money on top of money on top of money. Long story short, the Duke of Austria was assassinated because they wanted to send a message to say, you guys taking too much of Africa. And that's what started World War One. See, they only tell you, they say, oh, well, the Duke of Austria was assassinated, but they don't tell you why he was assassinated because they felt that they was taking over too much land in Africa. And that's what started World War One.
Wow. But who would you accredit freeing the slaves to?
African people. So the thing about it is if you go back into the archives and you look at these letters that were written by slave owners, right?
Mm-hmm.
They
Please share the
they
live, guys. Excuse me. Please share the live and don't forget to subscribe.
they were terrified of what was taking place around the world. See, because we're always given this image that we didn't fight back, that we were just happy slaves. And that's not true. There were over 400 rebellions in the South alone.
Mm-hmm.
400 rebellions. African people were fighting back. So Europeans were like, look, a lot of Europeans said, look, you gotta let these people go. We not liking the slavery thing because my auntie was just killed in Louisiana. My brother was just massacred. Nat Turner, Denmark VC, Haitian Revolution. Like I'm not feeling the slavery thing. Let them go. So it was us rebelling, right? And even if you go into the United States Congress, you would see that after 1804, they were not allowing any more slaves into the United States. They were not allowing any more slaves into, and slavery didn't end until 1863. Now, why did they not allow any more slaves in the United States? Because the Haitian Revolution that was over in the Caribbean just happened, and that scared a lot of slave owners. And so they said, "Hey, keep them
Mm-hmm.
out of the United States. We not doing that. They got to stay over there. The people that we do have here now, we're going to create generational slavery. And that's why they created breeding farms. And these farms is where they would get men to impregnate women so they can have children so you can now make slaves. Because when you take someone from Africa who understands what freedom is, they're going to fight back. When you take somebody from Haiti who understands what freedom is, they're going to fight back. And so they recognize we can't allow any more people to come in
To
and migrate into this
infiltrate.
country. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about who ended slavery, it was black people who ended slavery. White people just let me tell you something. The reason why they give you Harriet Tubman, and I'm not talking bad about Harriet Tubman, is because it makes white people look good. There are millions of people who fought for African people. They give you Harriet Tubman because they then white people could then say, well, we helped her in the Underground Railroad. They always have to stick themselves in it to say, well, we helped Harriet Tubman. See, we're not all bad. There are people that I can name right now that you would never have heard of because they don't make white people look good. Anytime white people telling you a history, they telling you a history to automatically make themselves look good. That's why they say silly things like that. We ended slavery because they don't know. And then black people don't know. So we say, oh, Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman was a Christian woman who worked with white people. And they like that. It makes them look good. But there are people like Deslon from Louisiana that came from Haiti who started a rebellion. Matter of fact, one of the largest rebellions in Louisiana history, the 1811 rebellion, the German massacre. They don't teach you about that because he didn't work with white people. They give you Frederick Douglass because he worked with white people. And that's the way that they can slip themselves in to make themselves look good.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime someone's picking my heroes, I gotta watch them very carefully because someone else's hero is someone else's nightmare, and I want to see who the white man nightmare is. Don't give me who you want to give me. I want to find out who I want to find out because that's the person I need to be studying.
I've heard a lot of African Americans try to differentiate us. So, on one end, I'm going to ask you who benefited or how did America benefit from the Haitian people independence? But one of the things I just want to elaborate on, and you can speak on that more, is the culture difference, the disparity here, and having someone travel out of Haiti into the United States and feeling as if the United States is heaven on earth, and them not knowing the disparity that is already in place in America, especially against minority. I want you, before we end the show, to especially Haitian people, because we have a lot of Haitian people that recently traveled and got accepted into the U.S. legally or illegally. However, there's a lot of Haitian people, a lot of immigrants traveling now. Is it talking to that? How just here, but then it's a whole nother form of disparity once you travel outside of Haiti.
Okay. So in psychology, they have something called positive and negative reinforcements, where you you know what? Let me just get straight to the point. I'm not even gonna go too deep into the psychological. It is very important that as Africans or Haitians, uh, we come here and learn Black American history because, as the late great Dr. Amos Wilson says, I'm an African. The death of my brother is also my death. What they do to you in Ghana, they're gonna do to us in Haiti. What they do to us in Haiti, they're gonna do to us in Brazil. It's an ongoing thing. Just because you don't see yourself as African does not mean they don't see you as African. Just because you don't see them as a threat doesn't mean they don't see you as a threat. One of the things that we fail to realize is that all cultures have proverbs. Proverbs are sayings that you live by in the culture, right? In Haitian
Mm-hmm.
culture, they say, "Damn mon, gen lot mon," which means behind one mountain is another mountain, which translates to every struggle is always going to be a struggle after that. Every culture has proverbs. And one of the proverbs that we fail to realize that Europeans have in their culture is keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Mm-hmm.
We fail to realize that. That is the proverb that they live by. Keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. So when white people trying to get next to you, it's because they see you as an enemy. They don't feel like they can attack you yet. They don't feel like they can hurt you yet. They don't feel like they can damage you yet, but they're keeping you close so they can attack
Mm-hmm.
you and they can use something from you. But I want to say this: we have to study Black American culture because if we did, we would have held on to little Haiti because we would have recognized what's happening to Liberty City, what's happening in Overtown. You cannot just step into an environment or any situation and not know the history of that environment and situation because you become victim of that same environment and situation. When you look at the prison system now in the state of Florida, it is predominantly packed with Haitians. Packed with Haitians. All you see, Zopound this,
Yeah.
gangster this, little Haiti this, because we didn't come here and realize that it's a trap. It's a setup. But here's how racism, white supremacy works so effectively. In Haiti, and remember I said earlier, Europeans understand how to throw rocks and hide their hands. So what they do is they get a puppet person to oppress the Haitian people, and they do this around. They do this all around. They do this with Ubuntu in the Congo. They do this everywhere you go. They find a puppet leader who's greedy, who may started out as a good person, but down the line they changed, right? And what they do is they have that person oppress their own people. They have that person killing their own people with the armies that was trained by the CIA. See, here's the thing. We don't even know what the CIA do. We don't even know that the CIA is a counterintelligence information. Their whole job, if you look them up, is to destabilize people's governments. This country, we pay taxes to a country that goes around and destabilizes other people's countries to mess up their government. This is what they do. Go look at what the CIA is. This is not hidden facts. This is not me talking. So getting back on topic, um, they have these puppet leaders oppress us. They have them beat us down. They cowards kill each other in the streets. So then when you come to America and it's white people in charge, you say, oh, look at these good white people. The streets are clean. There's no killing going on. I could eat. They give me this, they give me that. So in your mind, the reinforcement of niggas ain't shit is now in your mind. Going back to what I said earlier, can you show me a real life black Wakanda where you have a black nation that is doing better than a white nation? And the reason
Mm-hmm.
is because they send the CIA. into these countries to destabilize their governments, their economics, and etc. And then they retrain their armies to do the work of what white people need to be done. So to answer your question, I went so far. I went so far in the me.
You teaching. You teaching.
I'm rewinding
My
it.
house is your house, my brother. You dropping gems,
I'm rewinding it.
you know what I
So
notice is whenever you speaking different, no, you're doing good. You're doing good.
I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to round it. I have a very long way of speaking. I'm trying to round it back around to answering the question. Um. So this government, yes. So they get these puppets people to mistreat us, to abuse us, to hurt us, to destabilize the country.
Mhm.
And then when you come here and not study the history and not study what's going on and not study, the society, you fall victim. Now the first generation might not fall victim to it, but the second generation are the kids that were born here. Oh, we vagabonds. Oh, we done. You can't. We don't know Haitian culture. We don't know nothing about Haiti. Even when we try to go back to Haiti, they tell us we Diasporas and whatever. We don't know nothing. You know what we know? What we know. That's all we know, and we don't know nothing. So we know
Mhm.
nothing. Our like think about this for a second. Our parents really, 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 most of our parents really came on boats and ships and tried their hardest to get here, to risk their lives. You know how many people died in the 80s and the 90s that got shot down by the Coast Guard where they were shooting down the boats, and every day you turn on the news and they say 500 Haitians died at sea, 600 Haitians died at sea. Do you know how crazy it is for somebody to say, I don't know if I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna leave this country because I want to give my child a so-called better life, right?
Mhm.
And then we come here and we gossip at that opportunity. We come here and now we in jail, we killing each other. We do because you didn't study the history. You don't know what they're
That's
gonna
true.
drop. You don't know that they're gonna drop crack in your community. You don't know that they're gonna drop drugs. When I was growing up, there was things I never seen a Haitian homeless. Now I see friends
Me
that I went to
neither.
school with. I see friends I went to school with. They on drugs. They homeless.
Wow.
They had gone. They had gone. They smoking all type
There
of.
are things I'm hearing about Haitians that I never saw growing up in reference to Haitian people. So I can relate. You may continue.
We don't. We missed the trap because our parents didn't know it was a trap. Our parents thought that they were coming for a better life. They were coming to better, but they didn't know the Black American story. They didn't know how this system treats Black Americans. So we came here thinking, oh, we better. We in a better position. No, no. And then even we have to question the idea. Like for example, we always make this joke, right? About how Haitians love to be nurses, right? We love to be nurses. I know so many nurses from here to Canada. Everybody's sister is a nurse. But Haiti has the poorest healthcare in the freaking world, in the Western Hemisphere. Why aren't all these nurses going back to Haiti and providing standard healthcare for the people in Haiti?
Well,
That
when
means
when
the
you ask
education.
that, they say it's the security. People want to make sure that they are to an extent secure, and the brutality is promoted vividly in Haiti, which would discourage anyone from wanting to come and share. It's so much easier for someone to be discouraged than to. You have to really love Haiti
I,
to
I, I,
support.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, what we're seeing is the people that are willing to make that move are people that have a purpose and a calling on their life in reference to Haiti, because we know that everyone have a different calling.
So I want to say, I find that to be the thing that we like to jump to say it's not safe in Haiti. But you have people traveling to Dubai, to Afghanistan, and they kidnapping Black people over there too. They kidnapping
Mhm.
them and having them doing all type of stuff, putting them into slavery. But you think that's stopping black people from going there to get kidnapped in Dubai? They still going. They still going to Brazil.
Wow.
They still going everywhere else. They kidnapping people. Listen, over 200,000 people go missing on tourism trips in the Dominican Republic. They drugging people and killing them over there. Is that stopping them from? Hey, I'm in DR, girl. I'm in D. No, you still going. So that tells me that you're not sincere in what you're saying about the idea that, oh no, they killing people and they doing that everywhere, but you still going.
Well, someone just mentioned we have to do a part two. I have held you for 104 minutes. I don't know when you'd be available. Maybe sometime in the future we will do a part two. But you brought me to exactly what I wanted us to touch some about. I don't know if this, you let me know if probably this will be on the part two. Because now you're seeing, and I know some of my peers, YouTuber peers, may disagree, but you have a lot of black men that says they're not going to travel to Haiti or whatever because Haiti is unsafe. But then we're seeing it's a trend in Colombia to hurt our black men, and they continue to catch flights there. They continue to go and visit, and almost every other week, shout out to Razor Rays, one of my brothers on YouTube that I really enjoy his channel. He continued to bring us information about black men there being drugged, black men being this, being that. But I say leave this for part two. Give them a little bit, but not all, because I feel that with the way things are going, we are seeing, and the sisters have a, I can't put the blame here directly on anyone, but you are a man that could speak from your experience. Do you think that black men have an issue with traveling to black countries? Not all, because I'm seeing you guys, I'm watching Second Effect, because you've seen a lot more white YouTubers that are quick to travel and come into Haiti and risk it all and go into parts of Africa and risk it all. Whereas a lot of the black men that we have that travel, they're now just breaking that ice, but they're more willing, let's just be real, to travel to light skinned Hispanic countries more than black countries. Why is that? Because, they say it's unsafe to come to Haiti, but we're seeing that it's so much more unsafer to go to Colombia. Because in Haiti, believe it or not, there is drugs, but many of us women, we don't do drugs in Haiti. We're not drinking and smoking, and it's not in our mind to drug someone. Even though there is gangs, the gangs are dealing with something completely different than, I don't know. Should we make that a part two? You come back. I'm gonna share more with the people. Let me know, what do you say?
So I'm gonna say one of the greatest weapons that the oppressor has is the mind of the oppressed. And so their chief weapon is self-hatred. If they can instill self-hatred in us in any way, shape, or form, then everything we do would be a benefit to them, right? So in order to oppress a group of people, you have to turn their minds backwards. So everything that is good for them, you have to make bad, and everything that's bad for them, you make good. Right? So
Mm-hmm.
reading is bad. It's boring. I don't like reading, but I want to go to the club. I want to drink. I want to smoke. Being disciplined and saying, "Nah, I'm not doing that." It's bad. Oh, you boring. I don't like that. But going out and being YOLO, living once, right? Just ridiculously, that's fun. So Europeans have shaped our mind in a way where everything that's good for us is bad and everything that's bad for us is good. So self-hatred is their chief weapon. Why do I want to go to a black country and marry black women when I have an internal hate and inferiority complex for my people? So there was a survey done of interracial couples. Y'all can go look the survey up. And then a survey, they asked a specific amount of questions in this survey, right? But me, I look at everything from a racialized lens. So it was one question that they asked black men that date white women. And the question was, who drives the most? Now, this seems like a very simple question. Like, who drives the most? Like, what does that mean? Mostly 99% of the men said they let their white woman drive. Now, why would they let their white woman drive? Because they feel if she's in the driver's seat and the police pull us over, she's good. She's white. A lot of men have inferiority complexes. They want to be white men. They want to live like white men. They're scared. They don't want to have, uh, put it like this, being connected to a black woman represents responsibility. Represents you have to protect her. You have to take care of her. And as a black man, I can't even take care of myself. I'm scared a white man gonna do something to me. Why do I want to add on children and I want to add on a wife that I gotta protect too? Hell no. Give me this white girl. Let me make these mixed babies and let me run away from the responsibility of standing up and protecting this all black family. So yeah, let me go to Colombia and find a girl that, you know, light skin or white or whatever, and let me have my fun with that and do that. So the black woman represents a responsibility that a lot of black men don't want to stand up and take responsibility for. But it all represents self hatred, and we got to understand that there is no such thing as attraction. There is no such thing as that's just what I like. That doesn't exist, right? Because your culture is what shapes what you like, right? So if you live in a culture of racism, white supremacy that says that white is better, then of course you're gonna have a hierarchy where, okay, I might not be able to have a white girl, but she ain't black. So now you see a large majority of black men dating these ambiguous black women. Like, is she black or she kind of black? Like she ain't black like my mama, but whatever. So let me expound on the idea that culture is it shapes what you like. When you go to Africa, they have some people, these tribes who have these big lip plates, right? These huge lip plates. And in that culture, the bigger your lip plate, the more attractive you are. The more attractive you are in that culture. They have these big ear gauges. Some cultures, they have these long things that they put on their neck and it stretches your neck out, right? The longer your neck can stretch, the more attractive you are. Some cultures, you have people who drink these milks that make their stomach really, really, really big. And the more your stomach stretches, the more attractive you are. Your culture defines what you believe is attractive. So if you live in a white European culture, so I said about everybody has experienced this, that puts whiteness at the top, then of course you're going to want to marry somebody who doesn't look like you because you think that this is the standard of beauty. In Asia, they have these women who wear very, very small shoes. And the smaller your feet, the more attractive you are. Your culture defines what you believe is attractive. And since we live in a system of racism, white supremacy, that white is at the top, we always find white to be the most attractive thing or the closest thing to white, Spanish or whatever the case may be.
Wow. I have someone that keeps making comments before we go about speaking on Freemasons. Would you like maybe a next time we meet to speak on that, or before we end the show, would you like to speak on that?
I don't get into aliens. I don't get into Anunnakis. I don't get into Freemason. I don't get into Illuminati. I don't get into any of those things because those are all time wasting mechanisms. At the end of the day, it's white supremacy. Whether you're talking about Illuminati, that's white supremacy. That's white people at the top of it. All those conversations that we do to waste time and, oh, what about aliens and spaceships? Well, how is that going to push us forward? How is talking about this going to push us forward? And I'm not being critical. I'm being honest because a lot of times we have jailhouse mentalities. Remember, our countries are jailhouse, our neighborhoods are jailhouses, right? What a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people do in jail is they sit around just talk about nonsense to waste time till it's time for them to go to court. How is that information going to help us build institutions? How is it going to help us build schools, build hospitals, come together, unite our thinking? It's time wasting. It's all white people propaganda. Stop listening to Alex Jones and those white people YouTube channels just wasting your time. We need to focus on real, constructive things. I don't talk about those things because they're time waste. You gonna sit around and talk about, you think aliens exist? You think the world is flat? I don't know if the world is flat. I don't know if aliens exist. But if aliens do exist, tell them to give me a zapper so I can fight against what I need to fight against. Because I need me a zap gun. That's all I want to know.
I want to thank you so, so much. Like, you are a great guest, and I thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule, Brother Hassan. So, for many of you guys that was asking, what is his name? He is Brother Hassan, Brotha Hassan, Hassan, and he is more on Instagram, guys. So go and follow him. He's almost at 10,000 people following him, guys. So
What?
follow him. Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh, I don't like to look at things like that because it shapes I don't look at stuff like that. I don't pay attention to stuff like that. I try not
Wow.
to.
On Instagram, you have 9,101 followers. I guess you gained some here because you had more, but yeah.
Yeah, I
You
don't. Mm. Oh, someone says, so what is the constructive plan? So let me just say this. And if we could go for another 5 minutes if you like. We can go 2 hours if you like.
I don't mind. We could
Uh,
go, but I just don't want to overwhelm you.
no, I got you.
But I don't, and I try not to do the live so long. Why?
Hmm.
We have people that will come behind us and watch it, and we want to make sure we give them time to be able to watch a show because we know how busy life is. In my crowd, there are a crowd of busy people, working people, so I appreciate their time. So I try
Yes.
not to take in too much time. But yes, you may say whatever you'd like to say, my brother. The
So
stage is
yes,
yours.
let me answer that question. What is the plan? So I would answer that question by first saying, what is the difference between poison and medicine? The only difference between poison and medicine is the amount of dosage, because medicine is often poison. If you take too much Tylenol, if you take too much sleeping pills, if you take too much anything, you can die. So the medicine and the poison are usually connected together. So I say that to say this: a lot of the problems that we face can be solved if all we do is do the opposite of them. We complain, oh, the black community, we don't got no money, we don't got no institutions. Okay, guess what? Stop spending your money with white people. Stop spending your money on the Lexus when you just got here from Jamaica and Haiti, and don't stop spending your money on nonsense. We have the money. Black people are $1.7 trillion to this economy, the United States alone. Every problem that we have, we can be solved if we just do the opposite of the problem. It's very simple. It's not that hard. It's not that hard at all. The problem is often the solution is often in the problem. And once we do that, it's simple.
I want to thank you and tell me we will do a part two.
I got you, sister. I got you. You
Don't
let me
have to
know.
be right now because I know you busy. But I just want to thank you Do you have any last words? Because I'm going to spend about 5 more minutes with the people, because I'm sure everyone is wanting to know, like, what's going on with me or what happened with me. I'm going to share just a little bit before I get out of here.
Um, I just want to say, yeah, again, the problem is often, I mean, the solution is often in the problem. So when we reconnect with our African selves, when we push the European out of our mind, out of our soul, out of our body, out of everything, and we reconnect with who we are and what we are, um, we can rebuild ourselves as a people, right? There are certain things, like let's say, for example, that's very, because again, culture is about survival, right? So if you look
Mm-hmm.
at, for example, in Haitian culture, they have uh ki jan di bagay la, let moun gen l'argent and you give them money like back and forth.
Ouais, epi
Eso,
tou nou pa pale kreol, mem nou pa
eso.
mem evite moun mwen yo nan.
Okay, okay.
E
So
pou
eso.
part 2, nap ba yo an ti kreol. E pou nou ba an pil kreol, paske m konen gen moun mwen yo, ya pile pie maswe a, se yo pa kompren an yen nou di. Men ki
Eh,
so tap di an kreol ankon?
no, I'm sorry, I don't speak Creole that good, so forgive me. But I
Ou
said
pale bien, oui, mwen m kompren.
I was out they probably did eso. So basically eso, right, is a part of Haitian culture, right? When you look at Nigerian culture, they call it esu, right? Because that's where we get it from. And then when you go to Jamaican culture, they call it partner, right? So basically, for those who do not know, we basically sharing money in the community. Now imagine if we do that at a large scale. We don't have to worry about the banks. We don't have to worry about all those other institutions. All we have to do is generate and circulate the money. So a lot of the problems that we have can be solved, number one, by doing the opposite of the problem. Number two, by going back into our cultural ways of living, our cultural expression. Our ancestors had a way for everything. We just have to dig into it. But a lot of us feel like what the European has presented is better, right? And so another thing that European did with self-hatred, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna end it here. What the European did with self-hatred is that they allowed us not to trust each other. And so when you look at the term trust fund, right? A trust fund, they call it a trust fund because trust is money. You trust people, that's why you spend money with them. You trust a name brand, right? And so when you get a people not to trust each other, they're not going to share money with each other like that. They're not going to donate to Dr. Umar's school because, oh, I think he's a scammer, right? So they put this Willie Lynch syndrome inside of us where we can't trust each other for nothing to build something up. So this is why you have words like money is called currency, which is energy, right? Because you're putting energy into getting that money. It's called trust because you have to trust where you spend the money at. So when we understand these words properly and we Sankofa, when we go back and get it, we return to who and what we are as an African people. There is no stopping us. There is no stop. Well, matter of fact, let me just say this right quick. Last thing, last thing, last thing. So I have a shirt coming out, right? I have a shirt that I'm working on. I have to get them printed up. And this is what I mean by return back to your African self, right? And here's the shirt. Don't forgive me because my phone is cracked. So don't worry about my phone. But here's this image of the shirt right here, right? And you see what it says? It says, get the French out of here.
Mm.
And as you can see, he's peeing on the blue and red Haitian flag. And he has the black and red 1804, black and red 1804. And it says, instead of saying get the F out of here, it says get the French out of here.
People
Get
have
the
to, for someone to purchase that shirt, they have to understand history, because I'm
correct.
surrounded by a group of people who are like minded, who think this way. So that's why I can understand.
Yeah, yeah. So that's it. I have no more. I appreciate your time,
So
sister.
when is this shirt coming out? Do
Right
you
now,
know? Or are you
right
working
now,
on it?
yeah, I'm working on. I got the design. The design just got done. And now I got to look at like a distribution, like how I can, because I don't like, again, resources. I don't like having to go to the Asian to get my shirts done or to go to the Arab to get my shirts done. So it's about finding the black person. And that's one of the things we got to do. We got to walk the extra mile to find our people who do good business, do
Mm-hmm.
good business.
And our people have to learn to do better business too.
Correct. Correct.
That way
Correct.
we can enrich and support our
Correct.
community, which is something that on part two we will talk about more too, even in reference to Haiti. Someone say if you need a website, that they will be there for you.
Okay, well, hit me up on Brother Hassan. I don't even know the name. Brother Hassan 5 6, one of them on Instagram. But yeah, hit me up in the DM. Hopefully it's black. I want to do business with black people. Um, yeah, do business with black people.
Awesome, my brother. You were a great guest. I want to thank you so much. And
Thank you.
I'm going to get you out of the studio, but we will talk soon. And thank you so, so much. Please tune in and watch as I let you guys into what happened to my face. I'll be quick.
Thank you for having me, sister.
Thank you, Brother Hassan. I'm sure you had a lot of love. And as soon as those shirts are ready, you give me a call so we can let people know that they are available.
Okay. Thank you.
You
Asante.
welcome.
Asante Sana.
You have a good night.
All right.
Bye bye. So, guys, tonight was a wonderful live, and I thank you all for tuning in. Now, I am sure you guys are wondering, and this took a lot of courage, guys. But as you all know that have been following me, um, courage is something that I am full of, and I was not going to let anything but death get in the way of us doing the live tonight. I'm a woman of my word, guys, and I had to keep my word with Brother Hassan because this was completely unexpected. So, for some of you guys who are wondering what happened, I got into an accident, guys, and I can't believe it because it was another motorcycle accident. I know a lot of you all would say, well, why did you get back on a motorcycle, guys? This is not something that I do often, especially since I was involved in one which almost took my life last year. And because of how things have been happening within Haiti, I've been doing my best to try to stay off the streets or go do what I have to do and come on back home. And especially with what's happening, my vehicle, guys, have been giving me problems with the transmission. So I've been doing my best to stay off the road with my car because I don't want the car to stop on me. And then I end up being somewhere where there's problems and it makes it even more problems for me. So yesterday morning, it was early in the morning, guys. I called someone because I need a HDMI cord so that let me see if I can turn my screen because guys, I want to start sharing on my live to make the live look more professional. So there are things that I've been trying to work on to bring you guys better content to keep up with the currents. So I went out to buy a HDMI cord because I found out that to be able to share my screen, I need a HDMI with this monitor. And make a long story short, I went and got the HDMI cord. I'll tell you guys, the cord still doesn't work on this monitor. But on the way back, guys, um, the driver was driving well, no problems. And we're stuck in a little bit of traffic. And while we're stuck in a little bit of traffic, we got a bus Nou gen yon bis ki devan nou. And nou campé there, we stopped behind the bus. And next thing we know, guys, all I saw was a car coming from the left side. And by the time I could try to figure out what was going on, the car they never blew the horn. And you guys that are familiar with Haiti, and in case if you're not, this is a two-way street, one way going up, one way going down. I'm looking forward. There's no cars coming down. We're stopped behind the public transportation van, and we're waiting on him to take off or whoever is driving. And the car just come out of nowhere from behind us. And next thing I know, all I remember this time was a white car. I don't know what kind of car it was. And of course, I wasn't driving. I don't know how to drive motorcycles. And just came and just hit me, hit us. And by the time I tried to get a hold of myself and yada, 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 I had failed, guys, and hit my head. Of course, I have some more injuries on my chest, and I have some injuries on my hands. So just continue, guys, to lift me in prayer, because definitely motorcycles are just not good for me. And I need to stay off of motorcycles. I just don't know. It's like when things is meant to happen, it's just going to happen, because the driver was really driving safe, not driving reckless, and that's what took place. So, guys, I want to ask you guys to continue to lift me up in prayer. Continue to lift up Life in Haiti in prayer. The work that we do in Haiti in prayer, it shall continue. And I thank God that I am here with you guys and to live to tell it. And even though I have, the healing process, guys, and I said I refuse to allow anything to get in the way of me doing what I need to do. But the crazy thing is, guys, soon as mbanonti creole. Kou mwen deson moto a, lem rive mta prale nan store ki rele Thompson's Electronics. I was going to Thompson's Electronics. And as soon as I got there, kou mrive, telefon nan sone, e pi lem wel sone se papam. E mpran telefon nan. E lem pran telefon nan, e papa me dit bezwen parler avec. My dad said he needs to talk to me. And I said, Dad, we can pas ka parler kounya parce que moi sorti moi dans la rue, marelo nan un moment. Li dit ben relem tout de suite oui, me dit ben OK, me dit m'pa connaît. I don't know. My dad was like, call me. He wants to talk to me. And I said, I can't talk to you right now because I'm out. I'll call you in a little bit. And he did, no, call me right back. And he did, relais tout de suite. And I'm like, non, m'pa ka relo pa. Parce que moi dans la rue. I'm like, I can't call you right now because I'm out in the streets. And then he says, well, you're going to be in the car. You can call. And I'm like, no, I'm on a motorcycle, Dad. And instantly my dad's like, baby, why are you again on this bike? And I'm like, Dad, I'm gonna be quick, I'll be right back home. And it's a quick thing so I could go back home. I didn't want to drive and didn't want to bring out the car and end up in more problems. It was the last time going back up with the car, keeps the transmission keeps giving problems, yada yada yada. Anyways, it wasn't 20 minutes after that I was involved in a motorcycle accident, guys. So keep me in prayer, guys. Continue to share this channel because I need transportation. And where I live at, I know a few of you guys, as my viewers, have been to my home. And you know, like I live way inside in the woods. So it's not even a place where you can have easy access to even public transportation. If you, it's like you have to have a vehicle or you're going to be walking a long walk to get out into the streets where traffic is and for you to be able to get transportation. So continue to share this channel, guys, so that I can get some transportation here and continue to do the work because I cannot do the work that we do with Life in Haiti, guys, without transportation. And as you all can see, I've taken my share of bruises, guys, and I've been to the doctor. I'm taking medicine, guys. So don't worry. I know some people might say, did you get into a fight? No, guys. And there's absolutely no one that I would fight or, get into any violent confrontation like that. So I just want to thank you all so, so much. My sister, you are a beautiful woman, Mr. Jackson says, so be careful. Also, great live show tonight. Thank you guys so much. Always drive safe, very everybody. And one of the things, once again, guys, with this whole situation, that once they hit us, they did not stop. So I've held you guys live for a while. I know tonight is Super Bowl night. Catch me live, guys, tomorrow, and we'll talk more. But I just wanted to explain my injuries to you guys tonight. Thank you all so much. You could have been anywhere in the world. You could have been at the stadium having a great time, but you chose to be right here with Life in Haiti, and that means so much to me. That meant so much, I'm sure, to Brother Hassan as well. I love you guys so much. You guys take care. Even though I'm not the coolest girl, you guys made me feel so cool. And for that, I love you all so much. I love my audience. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this channel and show your support. Thank you to everyone from all around the world who came in and joined us tonight. I love you all so, so much as I leave every night, every live. Be kind to one another, guys. Be the change that you want to see. I know this live tonight, everyone may not agree, but sometimes even I have to do this. It doesn't make it because I'm comfortable with something that someone else will be comfortable with it. There are things which has happened in the world that have left people with different perspectives. I love everyone, guys. Racism don't live here. I don't believe everyone is racist. But one of the things, whether you are white or black, what you have to believe is the fact that us blacks have went through a lot in life. We have been enslaved, and many of us continue to face discrimination, continue to face racism, continue to face some type of discrimination. And it's because of the color of our skin. And when you look at history, then people start to form a different understanding. It doesn't make you right, it doesn't make the other right. But one thing I will share with you guys is until you've walked in this beautiful black skin, you could never tell me how it feels to be black. You could never understand what a black woman or a black man have been through until you've walked in our skin. I love you all so much. Be kind to one another. Tell somebody you love them. Give somebody a compliment. You guys take care.